What's going on, ladies and gents? Happy BTL episode 421 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by Pickett Sports. If you guys aren't tracking your bets on Pickett, what are you doing? Do you live under a rock? Grow up in the new year and start tracking your action on Pickett Sports. It's free. It links up right to your sports books. Could not be easier. So go check it out. Use promo code Javon and start tracking your bets on Pickett Sports today. All right? Javon, man, look, I'm just going to cut the shits and get right to the business here. Texas broke your heart last night and kept you away from a sweep. Comments, thoughts? Where's your head at? Ooh, goats are muted.
There we go.
Oh, he's back. Sure.
So back. It's not much I can be too mad about. Best player in the game goes down. There's a massive swing, choke a big lead. What are you going to do? That happens.
What are you going to do? You're going to bitch about it on BTL. That's about it. That's about all you can do now. Okay. Besides that, though, pretty solid day yesterday, if I could say so myself. Squad ride W. It should have never been that sweaty, but it was. Gosh, I could feel it. I could feel the momentum shifting from the over to the under in the second half. The possessions were slower. Jordan Poole wasn't, 5 for 5 from 3. It was getting sweaty, right? I texted, Javon and Goots in our little BTL group chat. I said, we got to sweat out this squad ride when it looks super free. I think Goots said, the live total's at 260. We're good. It got so weird towards the end and ended up smacking by literally 1 point. That's what I'm talking about, folks. No need for any sort of stress. Never in doubt. We cashed the over. Okay?
Yeah.
My goodness, man. That got so weird. But I do have to say, the Jordan Poole graphics, they stay undefeated.
They stay undefeated. And shout out.
Unbelievable.
Rare, super unexpected turn of Jordan Poole and Jordan Clarkson combining for 70. I didn't think I would ever see.
They went off. It was unbelievable. I mean, the Wizards couldn't get a bucket at the end of the game to save their life. I thought they were going to, mess up the squad ride. They couldn't put a ball in the hoop. It was embarrassing. But my goodness, watching Jordan Poole versus Clarkson, that was cinema, like Jordan saying in chat. Yes, that was awesome. That was good basketball. That was fun to watch. Although the Wizards lost, as a Wizards fan, I'd rather watch that game than whatever the hell I've been seeing all season. So the boys are playing better ball. They're putting the ball in the hoop overall. The Wizards are pretty exciting to watch, even if they lose every single fucking game. Okay. Yep. Man, sharp reports. Another 2 and 3 day from me. Not good enough. NC State blew it. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Queens was never in doubt. It was always the ML. The under in Texas Baylor is up there for the worst bet of the year. People are talking about it. It got nominated. So we'll see how that plays out. And then the Wizards +6 was a moose shit wager. Gosh, it really wasn't, though. That's the worst part.
Yeah, well,
it really wasn't. It really wasn't. Oy. Messi at less than 12.5 points. That was free. Great angle there. Javon, talk about your 4-1 day.
Yeah, Jazz over, like we talked about, probably shouldn't have been sweaty, but it was, and it was air. I don't know how in the world I got away with both of the Blues and the Kraken on the card. I thought surely that was a 1-1 there, but the Blues fought back, got the shootout win. The Kraken dominated for a majority of the game like they were supposed to. And that line was probably one of the more telling ones I've seen in hockey as of late. So the Kraken actually paid 2 times in a row, which was absolutely amazing. Texas talked about Dylan Dessou hurt, game flips. What are you going to do? And then Harden was literally prime Harden. So we love to see that.
I mean, he went off. What did he end with, 30? Did he drop a 30 berg?
I think 29, so just short.
Okay. Not good enough. Got to be better. Okay, we got to double up and catch these PrizePicks squares by 2x now just to make some excitement because you hit every fucking square, right? We got to come up with new games or something because these are all green. We got to make it tougher for you, okay?
Yeah.
Unbelievable job. Good work, okay? We take that. By my calculations, I believe Javon is 24-6 in his last 30 sharp reports. Somebody do the math and crunch the numbers on that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct, and that is absurd. Okay, so we're going to keep riding the hot hand here. Javon, whatever you've been doing over the last week, don't change. Okay, keep doing it because you're absolutely on fuego. Can we get some W's in chat for Javon? Absolutely printing coins left and right. Knock on wood, like it was his job. Okay, it literally is, and he's coming through for the people. Okay, W's, Javon in chat. I want to see a bunch of them. Okay, awesome. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's talk about the PrizePicks entries that we swept last night. Let's go, dude. Yes. 2 words, chat. Yes. Okay, 2 words. Heart. Love to see it. Unbelievable work here. The A team. How about the A team coming through? Very rare. Denny, Messi, free. James Harden, I mean, the freest square on the board. Javon, great work, man. Let's go, dudes.
Huge. A-team cashes don't grow on trees.
No, they don't. Those are tough to come by. And then the B team is well smacked. We got a W reboot. I see people in chat bitching about Taylor Hendricks getting hurt or whatever coming out of the game. W PrizePicks for the reboot there. Love to see it. And all it took was some Trent bitching to get DeRozan over the 23.5 points mark. So love to see that. He went more than legacies. I kind of counted that as a loser. Already checked out of that game. And then I check the PrizePicks and see that it's smacked. Had an unbelievable Monday, chat. Unbelievable work. Okay.
Yeah.
And Mr. Shrimpy can confirm 21-4 last 5. Holy smokes.
Love that.
Holy smokes. Unbelievable. Okay. And yeah, legacy second half there. Love to see it, chat. If you guys aren't tailing, what'd you say? I
said that was crazy. That was one of the most insane fourth quarters I think I've ever seen.
And Max Asmus was, freer than air as well. That cashed in the first 8 minutes. And then he didn't get any more rebounds. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. Ladies and gents, you don't see the A team and the B team sweep every day. Okay. That's absurd. Nobody can do that. We take a 6 for 6 and we go about our day, and let's try to run that puppy back tomorrow or even tonight with the slate we have with CBB, NBA, NHL. It's kind of loaded. We got no excuses. Okay. So let's run that puppy back. Let's smack at least one of the A teams or the B teams and give the people another 3-piece PrizePicks winner. Why not us?
Do that.
All right. King of the boards, more green. Okay, this is a pretty good show. Snow to the Yankees going to be so painful. Burnman, that's not the vibes we need right now, brother.
Yeah, let's not do that, please.
Not the vibes we need right now, brother. Okay? Simply not. YouTube to not get ads. Biggest life hack? Sure will. Sure. Go over to the YouTube and subscribe. We're almost to 5K subscribers. If we get there, I will do a 24-hour stream. We got to do it before March Madness, but go to the YouTube, do your part, subscribe. It takes literally 2 seconds, and it's free. Okay? Javon, how about Queens, man? That wagon. Let's go. Keep the points. We don't need them. How about Queens? Love to see it. I think their tourney might end today. We'll talk about that one once we get to the CBB section. But unbelievable play there from the Queens wagon, my beloved Queens. Oh, gosh, that one feels so good. Hitting a bet on Queens. It's like hitting 3 bets. That one just feels great. And then Seattle, the Kraken, Javon, talk about them. How about Seattle for once respecting some coins last night and finishing the job? Let's go.
Yeah, I was shocked. I mean, there's nothing worse than sweating a third period of a close Kraken game. And what do you know? They killed off a power play and scored a shorthanded goal in the third period. I don't think you ever get those for the good guys when you're on the Kraken. So that was huge. Plus 110 when you got guys getting traded on the road against one of the hottest teams in hockey. No chance they win that game. Even with the Kraken, they found a way.
Yeah, SBR, they might. They might. All right, we'll talk about it. Darian saying, can I interest you guys in a 2-man on the mound? Game starts in 20. Darian, I thought you never asked, brother. What are we looking at for the MLB slate? Are we taking nerfies? Are we taking strikeouts? Let me know. Okay. Good work, Javon, on King of the Board. It is dog week. Okay. Only underdogs allowed on the King of the Board challenge for this week. If we could scroll up to the top and show Daniel's fire graphic that he made. Sure. Dog week. Let's freaking go. Let's keep the dogs barking all week, Javon. Let's try to go 10-0 on the King of the Board slate. Okay?
Sure.
Love it. I know y'all do King of the Board, but can we get a head-to-head Javon versus Krabs on the Surge leaderboard and there be a reward punishment? Ooh, interesting, Alan. I would not be opposed to that. Huh. I am 1-1 on the Surge stream in the month of March. I don't know what your record is, Javon, but
I think I've only been on once, and it was with the over yesterday.
Well, there you go. 1-0. All right. W's, if you guys aren't hip to what we're talking about, the Surge stream has some cool contests going on. If you give a great sell job, you can win $100. If you have the best record, we're tracking these puppies over the next month, right in March, you can win up to $1,000 in PrizePicks promo. Or if you come in second or third, you can win $500 or $250 in PrizePicks promo. That is a huge W. So if you guys aren't hip to that, if you have not come on the Surge stream in the past, but you have some winners, if you're a sharp, do not be shy. Okay, W new faces are always welcome. Please, please, please go on the Surge stream in about an hour and 15 minutes and give Trent some winners so you can win some PrizePicks promo coins. Okay, it's that simple. All right, we got a 5U sub bang whale from my guy Kenny. Let's go, Kenny.
Let's go.
Sure we can. Kenny, are we printing on the golf right now, brother? Are we printing on the golf? Much love for the host last week, fellas. Dubs, maybe a little raid going on.
Yeah,
Love that,
little
Kenny.
raidage.
Awesome. Any golf plays, any golf angles for this week, please let me know in chat, my man. Need them. Don't want them, need them. The golf world has been crazy. Since LIV and PGA splits these tournaments at the beginning of the season for the PGA, Javon, it's been like all 45-1 or greater winners on the PGA Tour in these first couple tournaments. So if you're tapped into golf right now, there are coins to be made on some of these long shots. I'd love to hear if Kilkenny's got any for us.
I might have to lock in on the golf world.
They were talking about on SVP last night. It's like they've got like 300-1 long shots winning these golf tourneys because half the guys are in LIV and the competition just isn't as great. Crazy. Jacked up for this weekend. I sprinkled a donation on Taylor Moore, 250-1. I think finally see some chalk this weekend, though, but take a look at Moore. Okay. I agree, right, Kenny? People are starting to talk about it now. That's probably when the good players are going to start to win these tournaments, but maybe a little Taylor Moore sprinkle, some lunch money at 250-1. Okay. Love it.
I was going to say the Arnold Palmer's this weekend. That's a very popular tournament. There'll be some big name players in that.
Goots,
and then
we might need a Goots POD by Thursday.
The Players is this month as well, which is a big tournament.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep,
yes. That's a big one. Okay, so we're going to start to see some of the big names playing in these tourneys and probably taking the crowns. Goots, let me know if there's any angles for this weekend. If there's some sort of favorite that you like, maybe a guy who's been struggling like Rom, that we can back to maybe change the narrative, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, no rush, no stress.
I don't know if there's a LIV tournament this weekend. They take breaks, but for the PGA, I'll let you know.
LIV, PGA, either one. Yep. Okay.
Perfect.
Dubs, we got T-Web 406 coming in, resubbing as well. Love to see that. People showing heart on this Tuesday afternoon. W's. Okay.
Sure.
Javon, we got time. We got 1 minute for me to get mad real quick.
Just a quick little second. We got some time to hear you, bitch.
Quick little steamed crabs, Goots. We're on that shit. I love that clip, man. Absolutely love it. One of my favorite movies, Land of the Lost. If you guys haven't seen it with Will Ferrell, grow up. Go watch that puppy. Okay. Hey, NC State plus 6.5. I fucking bet.
Shit.
I bet. I mean, they were winning with 10 minutes left in the game. They look great. Everything was going according to plan, Javon. And then Duke's guards just start going bonkers. Okay, these guys are talented. I got to tip my cap. I'll be honest with you, McCain. This kid's legit. He's going to be a stud in the NBA or on Duke if he comes back for a second season next year. He's unbelievable. He carried this team late, and they ended up pulling away. My goodness, Javon. I thought NC State was going to win this game outright. They had Duke against the wall. And the next thing you know, they're up 15. Oi, never stood a chance. Fake Sharp, Wolfpack. This one hurts because it felt like a winner the whole way. Queens, down early, right? So they take the lead, whatever. We get a nice little W there. I already had NC State locked in for a dub. Next thing I know, they're down 15 points. Duke might be like that. Phil Palsky, I don't want to hear any bitching because you guys are still winning games and you look healthy as an ox, brother. Nobody hurt you, okay? You got your feelings hurt when you got court stormed on and you twisted your little ankle, okay? Duke is fine. Phil Palsky's fine. And NC State was a shit wager.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like fading Virginia on the road is what Duke is, because I think everybody kind of knows that they've been not fantastic on the road. So I guess it feels sharp, and at the end, it hasn't been the last couple times. So we'll see. We'll see how they end up.
Dilgod, great bet, brother. I know you were on the other side. You squared up for Kitch, took Duke. Great bet. Great bet. This is how every NC State better feels right now. Hope these clowns lose the rest of their games for the rest of the year. Yep, because NC State does not respect coins, and we know that. Keep them out of the tournament. They are no bueno. Okay? D-Wade loves the board tonight. I don't love the board tonight, but we're going to get into it. All right? We got Yankee Will resubbing. We got Dilgod dropping a 5U hammer whale. Sub bang. Let's go, Dilgod. Sure we can. He's putting those Duke winnings back into the community. Love to see that. Okay? ACC comp has not been great, but I feel like Duke has been sneaky, been going under the radar, and might just make the Elite Eight. I would not be shocked. They are stacked. They really are. And we'll talk about that. Okay. We did our first, postseason college basketball podcast. We recorded it last night, chat. We will drop that puppy later this afternoon / tonight. Okay. So if you guys want to hear about some of these mid-major tournaments starting up, we went over the first 15 college basketball conference tourneys, about an hour-long pod, maybe a speck over. So if you guys want to watch that, we will put the timestamps in the description as well. That'll be released tonight. So show that some love. Go drop a follow on Spotify or wherever you guys get your podcasts, and give it a listen. Let me know what you guys think about some of these mid-major conference tourneys starting up. Okay. Devin says he needs it. It'll be out tonight, my man. All right. Awesome. Let's move. Let's groove real quick before we do the BTL Sharp Report. The worst thing I saw today. This is pretty bad. Okay. Arch Manning acting like he's already Tom Brady. Arch Manning pulling the Caleb Williams card, even though he's never probably, I don't think he's played a single snap in college football, or at least he's not gotten a single start yet. Javon, what are your thoughts on Arch Manning sitting out of the college football game coming up because he wants to focus on playing on the field?
Yeah, I mean, that's focus on playing in the field. My ass. That's like a ridiculous cop-out answer. Like you're creating more of a distraction by trying to be different for no reason than saying you're opting out of the game. And like, yeah, like it's so much less serious than that if we're actually going to play the excuse that he wants to focus on actually playing the game. Part of, for multiple reasons. Like one, you're not playing the game. Like you're going to be riding the bench because Quinn Ewers is very obviously the starter. So it's not like you got that much to do. But I mean, the real reason is definitely because he doesn't want to do all that. And he feels like the Manning name is worth more than the $500-$600 that they're getting. So that's the real reason here. And yeah, nobody, if anything, you're sitting there as a backup because you're not getting any snaps. You should want, your name to be in the game and at least have something to do while you're sitting watching the guy that's ahead of you play all the games. I mean, it's just dumb. I don't get it.
I think Mikey hit the nail on the head here. I think the reason why he doesn't want to be in the game, sure, he can blame it on the money not being enough. He could blame it on him having fat NIL deals and him not needing the $500. But at the end of the day, like he just doesn't want to see a 70 overall rating when he gets in the game because he hasn't done shit, right?
Him being 71 overall would be the betting favorite. It'd be like minus 500. That's the perfect number. Like Mikey hit the nail on the head with that.
I mean, yeah, what can you can't make him an 80. The guy's never started the game yet, right? Exactly. You can't just, boost him up and make him an elite player. You can't make him Michael Vick, even though he hasn't played a fucking game in college football just because his last name's Manning. The guy hasn't started a single game.
Yeah.
Boy, this pissed me.
It would not. This is not too high because if they made him a 60, Peyton Manning and Eli might raise a riot. 60 overall.
PR stunt to get more media attention. It might be.
Yeah,
it might be. But Javon's right. If he's trying to say he doesn't want to be put in the game because it's a distraction, him coming out and saying this makes it 10x more of a distraction than if he just put himself in the game as the backup QB.
Yeah, that's why it's literally all-time worst excuse. Like
that might be the worst excuse of the year.
Yeah, we got to be better. Got to be better than that.
We got Cool Canes dude 29 coming in resubbing for 14 months. Let's go, Cool Canes dude. Sure he can. Okay, let's move on to the BTL Sharp Report for this Tuesday afternoon. Okay, 10 plays, 10 winners. I'll get it started off with some college basketball. Okay, give me the Fighting Illini on Peacock tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay, you got to fucking buy Peacock for this shit. It's ridiculous, but good thing I already have it when I bought it for a Patrick Corbin start last year. Good investment. Already have the Peacocks, so I'll be able to watch this puppy and watch Illinois get a big-time win at home against third-ranked big and bad Zach Edey and Purdue. Okay, we saw this line open up with Purdue as a favorite, which scared me a little bit. -1, -1.5. Some books immediately flipped Illinois up to -2 on most books now. Look, I love the way Illinois is playing right now. I'll be honest with you. I think they could slay the Dragon in Purdue and hand them one more loss before they head into the postseason. Illinois has won their last 3 games. They've won 4 of their last 5. I thought that game at Wisconsin, winning 91-83 was extremely impressive, holding off that Wisconsin squad that can shoot the lights out at home. Very impressive dub. They played a little bit of defense when they needed to in the second half, enough to get a big-time win outright as +3 dogs on the road. This team typically doesn't get the most line respect. More often than not, they don't get any line respect. But in this spot, now they are. They are favorites against big and bad Purdue. I'm going to back Terrence Shannon Jr. and the boys at home to get a big-time win and slay Zach Edey. Give me the M out.
Yeah, I'll be on them too. I was kind of surprised because I was a little scared. I saw the line open last night. It's a mandatory play. I was expecting it to be more Twitter POD of the day-ish, but I've seen more fake Sharp comments than, Illinois PODs like I was expecting. So I'll be right there with you on them today.
Oh, the Darian two-piece just dropped, folks.
Wow.
Lock in.
Whitlock and
Garrett Whitlock and McGill on PrizePicks. Let me just take a gander, okay? Because I made so many units last night on PrizePicks with the A team and the B team smacking. I might be able to throw a little $100 guys
Garrett
on
Willox
Darian's
is a
toothpaste.
4. How long is he pitching?
Holy smokes.
Is he going for a full fucking 7?
Why is that so high? My God. I'm taking it. Whatever. I'm in. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take Miguel, who's at 3.5. My goodness, what are these guys pitching complete games today?
Yeah, I'm tapping.
What does Darian know? Holy smokes. I'm taking it. We got Garrett Whitlock, more than 4 strikeouts. Tyler Miguel, more than 3.5 strikeouts. I'm going to sprinkle on it for the vibes. We've got Garrett Whitlock starting up here in about 7 minutes. Miguel starting up in about 12 minutes. A little BTL midday sweat to take the edge off. Okay. If you guys want me to repeat it real quick, Garrett Whitlock, more than 4 strikeouts, and Tyler Miguel, more than 3.5 strikeouts. Okay. A little midday sweat, a little sprinkle, nothing crazy. All right. Was hoping for an NBA player prop from Javon. I'm sure he'll have one today, my man. I'm sure he'll have one today. All right. W's. Krabs is going 5 for 5 today. I'm calling it. Let's go, Padawan. That's the vibes. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Love that. Okay. Dubs. Let's hop back to the Sharp reports. Javon, I want to hear about the Devils. Rumor has it they fired their coach last night. Ooh.
First ever double system play. So, I mean, I really didn't have a choice because they're also playing the Panthers, who are on the New York, New Jersey back-to-back that a lot of teams have struggled to complete the sweep in. And what do you know? They beat the Big Bag Rangers last night. They played one of the hotter teams, obviously, and hotter goalies in the league. And, I mean, it was a close game, but in reality, if you watch that game, I don't think they had much trouble with them. And they put up, 3 goals, I think, plus the empty net potentially against Igor, which is, again, one of the hotter goalies in the league right now. So now the Devils fired their coach. They're mixing up things. I don't know what they're doing as far as personnel. They got like one of their best defensemen is going to be a scratch tonight. So who knows what they're cooking down there. But what I do like they're cooking is their better goalie, your best goalie to have right now is Akira Schmidt. And while the numbers may not really be there in terms of starts because he hasn't really had many of those, he's coming in relief a couple of times when Nico Doss has been really, really bad. And he's been pretty locked down. So, like, this is his first start, I think, since, like, February 24th, I think that game was when they're on a back-to-back against the Lightning, which they got shit on. But other than that, I don't know if he's had a start this calendar year. Now they're giving him a shot. So, like, coming into this game, fired coach narrative, you have to play it. New York, New Jersey back-to-back, you got to play it. I do like that they're starting Schmid, though. If we're talking like an actual hockey reason, he's been good. And against this Panthers team on a back-to-back, nobody wants to fade them. I mean, they're catching steam because you got the Schmid announcement. He's a backup, whatever. Nico Daws sucks anyway. So this is like a really have no choice. And the fact that they're not catching more steam after open, I think is really, really interesting. They should be, even on a back-to-back, touching minus 130, minus 140 for how bad the Devils have been at home. The fact they're not quite there yet, and I don't know if they're going to get there, is pretty telling.
I'm so in. Oh, my goodness, I'm so in. Great sell job, great system plays, 2-piece on the systems. The Devils, they get it done today. No coach, no problem. We know how these systems go. Okay, chats, it does not look ideal, right? Typically, the public doesn't want to back the Devils in the spot. We will do it for them. Love this play. All in.
Yeah.
Right? Love that. All right, let me take you to a nasty CBB, Geyserman. Can I? Let me take you to New Hampshire. Okay, they're playing Vermont. We talked plenty about Vermont and this conference on the podcast we're releasing later today, guys. So get ready. Okay, but Vermont is already in, right? They're coasting. They've clinched the America East, right? They're feeling pretty good about themselves. They're on a nice little streak. They've ended the season on a great run. They've won and covered their last 5 games. They're on a bigger winning streak than that, though. The Vermont Catamounts, after a slow start to the season, has really rounded into midseason form at the end of the season here, okay? The Vermont Catamounts, as we know, they win this conference. They win, literally every single season. They dominate. They're always in March Madness. At this point right now in the season, Javon, Vermont has nothing to play for. They got nothing to do. I think this is a massive letdown spot playing against a New Hampshire squad that's really been struggling recently. They haven't covered in a month. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. They've lost 3 in a row, okay? But it's senior night for New Hampshire tonight. And I thought that spread, after getting blown out by Vermont at Vermont earlier this season, when they could only put up 54 points, and that spread was at Vermont minus 10.5, putting the spread here at 9.5 in this spot, Vermont almost looks too free and easy, and I don't think they have anything to play for. We see a lot of times at this point of the college basketball season, at the end of the regular season for these teams, where you've got guys already clinched, like Vermont's already locked into that number 1 spot, you could catch them lacking on the spread back in these crummy teams at home, grabbing the points because they have way more to play for. Sometimes it's senior night if they're home. this is a perfect spot for New Hampshire to not win, but on senior nights to put their guys out on the right track here. Guys like Clarence Daniels and co. I think New Hampshire keeps this one within the number. I really do. Give me plus 9.5.
This kind of reminds me of, which it's not the same because they're not nearly there's not as big of a gap between them and the rest of the conference as there is with McNeese, but it reminds me of that. Like this game where they're going on the road, which it's not like they've never been single-digit favorites because they are a little more often than McNeese, but on the road, same-ish spread as they were at home when they beat them by 16 and covered pretty easily. Could just be the spot. The books are tapped, and they know what's going on.
I'm so in. Send Clarence Daniels off like the king he is. He's averaging almost 20 points a game, carrying this New Hampshire squad this season. I think on senior night for him, he goes out on top, and I think they keep this one within 9.5. Okay? Take me to Florida. Absolutely in love with the Gators. We can make this a two-piece. Why do you like Florida today?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's definitely a little heart play. I want to see them get back after really they should have beat them in Tuscaloosa. And the only reason Alabama got back in that game, they were shooting the lights out. The one thing that never really changed throughout that whole game is exactly what I talked about when I took them the first time. Florida's just too big on the inside. Mikey Handlook and Tyree Samuel dominated that game. The offensive boards ruled that game. And honestly, like the difference between that game, I guess that was probably the start of it for Florida. But between that game and now, I think Florida's defense has gotten significantly better, how much are you going to be able to stop Alabama in their attack? You never know because a lot of that's going to be played in transition. But they found a couple of lineups that really work against these up-tempo teams. And I don't think it's a joke or a mistake that Alabama shot so poorly in that game that was in Tuscaloosa, which is very tough to beat them or make them shoot like that really in any scenario. Now they're going to Gainesville, which it's a tough place to play, tough place to win. Auburn found that out when they got pummeled by 20-something when they went there. I think Bama, that shooting performance is going to replicate in this game. And I think I'm starting to buy into Florida's defense a little bit and what they're doing on the perimeter. They're too big on the inside. Rebounding's an issue for Bama. And I think the Gators get back and actually close this one out.
Ooh, I am so in, chat. I've also got Florida on my card. Okay. Seeing Bama open up at -1 and then immediately move into a dog is music to my ears. It's absolutely beautiful. Looking at the splits, I mean, Bama could not be more public. They've got 69% of the bets, 56% of the handle on the ML right now. So some sharp splits on the home favorite now, with Florida being unranked, though. Great system play. Okay, unranked teams at home as favorites against ranked squads have been printing for the last couple seasons. I don't see why it doesn't here in this spot. You talked about the defenses, right? Alabama cannot guard a parked car. They have one of the worst defenses in all Power 5. Florida was like that at the beginning of the season. They still don't have a great elite defense, but over the last month or so, they have clamped up significantly better. Okay, let's back Florida. They're a favorite for a reason in this spot. Okay,
what's going to happen too. I don't know if you saw the game over the weekend. Them playing South Carolina. South Carolina brought out a zone that made Florida look like they've never touched a basketball before.
Oh, God.
I can guarantee you at some point today, because they're going to have to, Alabama's going to pull it out. But you know the difference? Alabama's defense ain't South Carolina's. So I can guarantee you it's going to be very undisciplined, and they're going to get out of that zone pretty quickly, but it's going to give Florida a chance to generate some good offense. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, off of that, we get the random Will Richard appearance from 3 or somebody, depending on who it is. I guess it could be Walter Clayton, too, if he's on the ball or not. But Bama's going to try it, and it's not going to work.
Okay. All right. People are saying in chats, Florida's public. They're not. 31% of bets, 44% of handle on the ML as of right now.
People say that shit every time about a play they don't like. We see this in chat every single time. I don't understand.
People know the facts.
I know. Okay. I'm agreeing with you.
Yep. All right. Florida Mega Max. Chat saying, yeah, I'm so in to nuke Florida today. W's. All right. Let's keep it in the same game. I'll go over my prize pick square here. Let's go with Zion pulling more than 4.5 rebounds. Number one, the chart looks nasty. Javon, this gives me vibes from that Max Asmus rebounds yesterday. Number two, Alabama gives up a bunch of rebounds to guards. I look back at recent games, how they've been getting burns. And I've seen in recent history, like if you look back at what happened in that last game, Alabama versus Tennessee, we saw JJJ, and I know we took his points in that game. He didn't do shit offensively, but he went off and got almost 10 rebounds in that contest as a guard because he was covering guards who were driving hard to the rack, and he was getting the rebounds on these uncontrolled, shots and attempts. I think we see a much, almost identical type spot here with Zion Poland covering one of the point guards or one of the guards on this Bama squad. And I think he comes down with 5+ rebounds. Okay. Love this square. It looks nasty. It looks like it hasn't smacked in a month. That's because it really hasn't, but it will today. Okay. You're going to see, once again, a guard be a rebounding problem against Alabama. They cannot, prevent it to save their life in recent games.
Yeah. And I think I'm like 99% sure my POD last time they played was pulling PRA. And I think the same thing's going to happen. See, he took over pretty late in that game. It took him a minute to find his footing, but he was getting to pretty much wherever he wanted. So we'll see how they kind of let him get through that today. I guess that might be when they pull out the zone and see how that goes out of it. But rebounding wise, I mean, they can't hang with Florida. It's going to be everybody.
Agreed. We've got sub banks coming in hot. Willie Kroll 6 coming in with a resub for 17 months. That's a GOAT. Tigers winning the Central plus 350 is free. Ooh. Rumor has it, Javon, we might be recording a little podcast going over the Central tomorrow.
Just might
that
be.
Could be fun.
Rumors are
could
swirling.
Be good timing. Yeah. All right. Do you guys like the over in the Bama game? I don't, Kyle. I know it opened up extremely high, and it's a very, very public and common sense narrative, right? With these two teams putting up hell points, not really playing much defense, but seeing the total come down, hearing Javon talk about Alabama potentially pulling out its zone. I don't think this game is going to be as high scoring as it looks on paper, right? The first time these guys played, it was 98-93 in that contest. The total was 173. This time around, sure, the total opened up higher because it soared, but it's starting to creep down. I would not be betting that over. It just makes way too much sense.
I will say, though, that game in regulation did go under. If that makes you feel any better. So it ended at 170, and I think it was like 173.5, maybe something near that. So it needed overtime to go over the first time, but I think it could be a pretty good live over game because I think to start, I think this game is going to start a little bit like the Auburn game did, just not as bad. Like I think Bama's going to come out a little cold, then like defensively they're going to switch to a zone for a little bit, and it's not going to work. Then you're going to see points splooge. It's like I kind of do like the over, but I think you can get a solid number if you want to take it live too.
All right. You heard it here first, chat. That's how you attack that Florida total. All right. And we are both on the Gators tonight, chat. Take note. All right. Javon, take us to the NBA. Take us to the association. Tell me why you like the Mavs laying 4.5 tonight.
Yeah, so it's another flip-flop on the Pacers play because just like we did with the Pelicans, which I didn't bet on the Pacers the first time they played the Mavs, but just recently they beat them by 20, just like it happened the first time we bet on the Pacers against the Pelicans, and then we come back and they're hanging a number that I think is probably a little telling. They are at home, and it's a little name brand team, not the Pelicans, but kind of the same scenario. And the Pacers have been reeling these last two games, so it's not like I'm selling ridiculously high on them. It's just it feels weird, everything that's going on with them right now. And Tyrese Halliburton being super cold and or not just a part of the offense at some points, it feels like, is really interesting to me. And you can certainly argue what's a better get back spot for an offense than playing against the Mavs, who are going to play absolutely no defense. And I can't really disagree with you there. But I think this is a really good get back spot for the Mavs, who, I mean, they've come off a couple really poor performances when they've played a couple of these better teams. And even like they just got blasted in a game that was not really as close as the score indicated by the Sixers on their home floor. So I love them to bounce back here, and they're hanging 4.5 after just getting pummeled by 20 against them, I think 2 weeks ago. I think that flips today and we get a really good performance. I definitely think we're on Luka triple-double watch again. He's going to have an absolute masterclass in this game. What
do you think about Kyrie PRA? Because it looks kind of high, and Remilo's asking about it. Any thoughts on Kyrie tonight?
Yeah, which I think that also was my POD the first time they played, and it got hooked because he got pulled in the blowout, a game that I didn't expect. So yeah, I mean, he should be doing everything. It's not like there's going to be any shortage of offense in this game. So I'm kind of with that. And yeah, he got hooked the first time on that game. That was 37-2, which was absolute piss. But yeah, I like him today, but I like Luka probably a little more is where I'd square up.
All right. You want to wrap around here and take us to Texas State? You've got a couple plays left, more than me. Tell us about that nasty CBB angle that you talked about and mentioned on the pod last night.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how nasty it is because Old Dominion is absolute moose piss, and the last time they played, I mean, it was ugly. I don't even think Old Dominion crossed 40 points.
Oh, nice, good.
Oh cool. Yeah, GG's. But Texas State, I think, like, correct me if I'm wrong or if you think differently, but Old Dominion is kind of a dead team walking right now, it seems like, and the last team in all of that conference that I would want to face in the first round is Texas State because of how they're going to play them defensively, and they're going to play super slow, and they're going to make them grind it out. It's just not, I mean, if you're talking about like the morale of the team, that's one thing, but also like personnel wise, I don't think that's the best matchup for Old Dominion really at all. And you could say that for a lot of teams because they have been terrible the entire season. I think they're 7-24 or something like that. But Texas State, I mean, I think this is just a nightmare matchup. I think defensively they're going to make life tough. They're going to switch everything. They have a lot of versatile defenders, which is perfect for what you want against Old Dominion because they're super, super heavy matchup based. I just think this is tough. And I did talk about on the pod, I think Texas State, they make life tough for really everybody in this conference, not just the teams that are Old Dominion-esque. And I would not be surprised to see them make some shake and make a little run in these next couple games, assuming they get through today.
I'm so with you. Texas State, for some reason, I feel like they always just make noise in the tourney. Historically a pretty solid program in this conference. ODU, a dead team walking, like you said, their coach, hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he recovers. Coming off the heart attack, stepping down, right? So they got Mike Jones coming in. Didn't seem like they showed really any life in those 2 games that he coached at the end of the season. So would not be shocked to see ODU just get ready for next year and kind of fold here in this spot. I like Texas State laying 3. I'm with you.
Jackson Holiday double off Zach Wheeler. He's ready for the league.
Wow. Call him up.
And Colton Cowser brings him in. Colton Cowser brings him in. Come on.
How about.
Wow. Okay. Well, keep me updated with those strikeouts too, because rumor has it Garrett Whitlock had 0.
Yeah, I got him locked. Nice. I'm seeing him.
Good. So 2 Sunbelt coaches had heart attacks this season. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it happens more than you think. Like last year, Richmond's coach had a heart attack and had to step away, Coach Mooney. It's no joke, right? These guys are putting their heart and soul, their blood, sweat, tears into these teams. And sometimes it ends up hurting, their health. You got to take care of yourself. Be careful out there. It's a good lesson, right? You can work your butt off, but if you're not healthy, how good are you, right? So prayers up for these guys, these coaches who have put everything in these teams and have seen, health side effects. It's crazy.
Dude, we got Patty Mills.
Bucks tagged Winfield.
Yeah, that was kind of expected.
Okay.
Huge to have him back. Patty Mills to Miami is hilarious.
Wow. We got 1K from McGill as well.
Such a heat culture guy. Yeah.
You think he'll fit in like a glove down there?
Perfectly.
Okay.
Perfectly.
All right. You guys are loading up, trying to make a little run in the second half of the season. Love it.
Yeah, the Heat are getting hot. People aren't talking about it. They're doing the thing they do every year.
People are bored. They're tired of watching Coach Spoelstra be one of the greatest coaches ever and finding ways to win. Not in exciting fashion with defense, with Jimmy. It doesn't surprise me why nobody talks about it, right? People get tired of success, right? You want to see new squads. That's why OKC has been so fun this year, I feel like, because they're new and they're young, right? But you got to respect, how long the Heat have been doing this for. They're great every season. It's unbelievable. Yeah. It really is.
People don't talk about
Schultz just got paid. What the? Yeah, people do not. He is such a legend. Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he gets swept under the rug because he's had D Wade and LeBron, but that dude is such a great coach.
Great coach, the GOAT. We got Dilly Daggers coming in hot with a sub bang, 7 months. Love to see it. Shout out for the free winners. Always will be free, Dilly. Appreciate the support, my man. Please go subscribe to our YouTube. All right, get us to 5K subs so I can do a 24-hour stream, chat. Please, okay? I'm dying to do a 24-hour stream, but it's going to cost you a sub, which is literally free and takes 2 seconds on the YouTube. The link is right here. Please, guys, if you cashed on the Wizards over the squad ride last night, if you've cashed on Javon's plays, his PrizePicks squares over the last week or so, go drop a sub. It takes 3 seconds and then come back. We got another Miguel K. There we go. There we go. It's not going to matter unless we get both, but there we go. Love to see it. Dubs. We're almost there, guys. Almost at 4K. All right. Keep working. All right. W's. W goods. Good work. All right. let's move. Let's hop right back to the sharp reports. All right, I've already went over my Geysermans except for UNLVs. So why don't we take you to some late night Mountain West action? Why not us? Okay, UNLV looks sharp. Okay, people in chat are saying maybe it's fake sharp. I don't give a hoot. I'm grabbing the 2.5 points and going about my day. San Diego State's, they're already locked in. They're going to the tourney. They were in the freaking national championship last year. They're going back. Okay, the season's good. Okay, they're locked. They're, maybe a little bit complacent here on the roads. UNLV, on the other hand, needs to win every damn game they possibly can just to stay alive in potential postseason tournament talks. They're going to have to win this game. They're going to have to go on and probably get to at least the championship in the Mountain West tourney, to say the least, but probably even win that puppy. All right. The reason why I like this spot so much, Javon, is because San Diego State owns UNLVs. They destroy them. They beat them. They cover every year. Typically, they're fat favorites. They're almost always, laying 10 points or at least close to it, even when they're on the road, because they own this team. They've beaten them 9 of the last 10 years, and they always cover and win by a ton. I am shocked to see this spread super short. This is the shortest spread I've seen between San Diego State and UNLV in years. Literally years. Okay? And that's for a reason. That's because we're going to see this UNLV team thrive. All right? Dedden Thomas is an absolute stud. Nobody talks about him at all. He reminds me a lot of Donovan Dent on New Mexico. And he sliced and diced this San Diego State team for a bunch of assists in that first game where they were actually able to beat San Diego State in an upset. I think this team is very similar. UNLV, they've got Dedden Thomas, who's a stud, past first guard, but he also leads his team in points per game. He's really, getting better almost every week, it feels like, in his freshman season. He's an absolute dog. And they've got Caleb Boone and also his brother, Keelan Boone, holding it down in the paint. So they've got the bodies to keep Ledee at least minimally effective in this contest. San Diego State, we know they're a physical, big squad. They're not going to beat you with, a bunch of threes, although they got a couple guys that can shoot. But they beat you, down low with Ledee, one of the best players in college basketball, a former TCU legend. Okay, UNLV has the bodies this year, finally, to slow down this San Diego State team, and I think they finally break the seal and pull off the upset they've been waiting for and itching for almost a decade. Okay, don't be surprised if UNLV wins this game outright. San Diego State's regular season is over, in my opinion, and UNLV needs this win like they need air. Grab the points. We might need them. This game goes down to the last possession.
Yes, every big Mountain West game seems to. And yeah, I like to this comment that they can't really afford a look-ahead game because they're fighting for their March Madness lives.
There's no look-aheads. They need to win every game.
Yeah, this is a absolutely massive game, and it's not a bad matchup for them either because, they're a bigger team, a physical team over there in San Diego State Shore, but UNLV has the bodies, and it's going to be a game decided at the rim, so they're going to have to fight. I like UNLV.
I'll tell you what. Whaley, this kid, he's not going to beat you on the freaking, stat sheet. He's not going to drop more than probably 7 or 8 points a game. But, him out there, he's just a glue guy. He's huge, right? That's the exact type of dude. You throw him down there in the paint with the Boons. You are in business against this physical, tough San Diego State squad that loves to lean on Jaden Ledee down low, scoring with these post moves, scoring with these mid-range shots. Good freaking luck getting to the paint with these guys down low. I'll tell you what, Rob Whaley, one of the most underrated rim protectors in the Mountain West. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody cares. Nobody talks about him. This kid's built like a freaking truck. UNLV has the perfect recipe, the perfect roster to pull off the upset, finally, against the San Diego State team. And it could not come at a better time with the season almost over. San Diego State, I saw them get ranked as the top mid-major team in college basketball yesterday, and for a good reason. I think UNLV catches them lacking, though, tonight. I love this bet.
I'm in on that.
Pulling taken off the board.
Who?
Pulling boards, taken off the board.
Dude.
Is somebody hurt on Florida?
Possible.
That scares me.
He's got everything else up.
Yeah, everything else.
Are you kidding me? They took that off the boards?
Looks like he got ahead to the BP specialist category.
Oh, all reliable, huh?
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
go to the goals.
Are we fading Jason Tatum or Pasternak? We fading Luka and T'Chuk?
That should go well.
Harry Kane and Zach Hyman.
What is that? Holy smokes. What are these combos? Mbappe and Tatum. They got Tatum in 2 of them. That means he's not doing squat today, huh?
Oh, yeah. GG Tatum.
Tatum's not doing squat today. Huh. If you had to fade one of those, you fading Mbappe or you fading Pasternak?
don't know. It's kind of piss.
Mm.
I don't know if I want to
Hyman
fade
one is
Pasternak.
free. People in chat are going nuts for that Harry Kane and Zach Hyman square. They're going bonkers.
I mean, Hyman is – that's kind of hilarious that he's up because he's been on an absolute tear. He has – I mean, that's going to be the one that you'd want to fade if I told you the Zach Hyman situation.
Give me the sedge. What's the sedge?
You want to know how many goals he scored in their last 8 games?
As a matter of fact, I do.
10. In that he
How many
scored
did he have in the last game?
2.
Oh, I bet 2 piece.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'm surely he'll score, 2 goals tonight once again with this combo up, right?
Yeah.
Anybody know what Harry Kane has done for Bayern Munich in recent games? Anybody know? Anybody got any angles on Harry Kane's? Please.
Well, first of all, what's the situation? Shocked. What's the game situation in that? I haven't been keeping up with Champions League.
I need my soccer sharps. Where are you? Show up. All right. Kane hasn't scored in like 3 games and is minus 170 today. I bet.
Barnes down 1. That was the crucial piece of information. So you might have to pencil in Harry Kane for 1. But
I'm seeing that he scored 2 goals on February 24th in the Bundesliga.
Is that their last game?
No, they played another Bundesliga match on the 1st, and he didn't score. He had 6 shots, though.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a striker.
So due for a UCL goal, people are saying. Okay. W's. They need to win this game. All right, I'm off. He takes their penalty kicks. Oh, my goodness. Get me away from that square. No thanks. I've already seen a freaking soccer highlight show up on my feed of just him banging a PK. Top left sector. I'm out. Hovey said, go look at my nugget. Can you say it again, Hove? Can you say it again? I'm scrolling. Here we go. PSG just needs to finish the game 0-0 to win. They don't need to score. They will park the bus the whole game and not be aggressive at all.
So that's crucial information right there.
Now, wait a damn minute.
That's crucial. I didn't know.
Now, wait a damn minute, folks. We have life. Wait a second here. You're telling me their opponent is going to park that damn bus. I know what that means. I played FIFA growing up. They're going to park that damn bus against Bayern Munich and Harry Kane today?
They are.
How is he going to score?
No. Opposite. They're not playing each other.
Talking PSG about Mbappe and Tatum.
Yeah, he's talking about Mbappe.
He's saying that
PSG's up on aggregate 2-0 in this game, so they really don't need to win or be super aggressive.
So let me take you to the Mbappe and Jason Tatum combo. Okay, Hovey. I'm picking up what you're putting down, brother. You're saying Jason Tatum and Mbappe aren't doing squat.
That might have to be the one.
How's Tatum been playing? Can we look at what he's been doing?
I mean, he just had a legacy. I think that was the last game. Legacy second half to cash Trent Square.
He's got a demon up for threes that looks like just a normal square, and that should hit, right? Very interesting, Javon, and no normal threes. Just that
he's
demon.
got nine threes in his last 2 games.
Oh, I bet he does. Fade him after his birthday. He's about to be hungover as a gopher. He's about to be hungover as shit. I am so in. Tatum with possibly no Brown. My goodness. Kane will score twice today. Yeah, we're off that one. I think I'm going to pivot. We're going to go to the Mbappe and Jason Tatum thing. I'm in on that. Javon, can I get your blessing?
I mean, yeah, probably.
Let's go. Come on. Come on, Chad.
For fading any of these, that's got to be the one.
Come on, Chads. Why not us? Celtics coming off a historic blowout against the Warriors on the road against the Cavs should be a great look, right? Okay. I am so in to take this. Javon, can I pair it with your Javon Small? More than 1.5 threes while you talk about it.
Yeah, you can. That's a system play, which these are the ones that have been cashing. If you're at a 1.5 or 2.5 coming off of double goose eggs and it's juiced up the right way, those have been printing very early in games. So, I mean, Javon Small is not like a super aggressive 3-point shooter. Like, he's not going to go out there in theory and put up, 6-7 attempts a game. He's more of what's up.
Time
out.
I'm sorry. We will give you the floor here in a moment. You can talk about it for 10 minutes. Okay. You're telling me, donation, that Mbappe, since he's about to be leaving teams, has been getting yanked from the coach? Is the coach pissed?
I mean,
It's looking like
probably not the Champs League though.
oh my goodness, the PSG coach. He said they need to get used to playing without Mbappe. He's about to leave the team in 2 months. Maybe he won't even play the whole game.
I mean, if it's a close game in the Champions League, are they really going to pull him?
Yeah, he was beefing with the coach, Javon, last game, huh? He might be parking his ass on the bench nice and early in this contest. Wow. Huh.
They are up in ag. Second main. They could mean it.
Grabs his line is baked into that. Okay. Got subbed. Got subbed off after the first half in the last game. Are we talking about his UCL games? Is that what you guys are talking about? Because we got people like this saying he's not going to get pulled in a UCL game, man.
They play league games in between their UCL games, so it could be either. Yeah, probably his league.
So then why does this stuff going on in his league matter for this team?
I mean, it really doesn't.
Okay.
But in the event that they do, I mean, they go up like 2-0 in this game, which would be 4-0 on ag. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, because they're up on aggregate. So if Hovey said that if they lose this game 1-0, they still win the match in aggregate. So a lot of moving parts.
Okay. The only reason he's going to get subbed is if they're already winning 2-0. Okay. Guys, is he leaving PSG?
Yes.
Is that the squad he's leaving?
He's going to Real Madrid. Yeah.
He's going
then that could be a good sign, because if this is the team he's leaving, then he might be getting benched.
Could be.
Just take the damn squad, crowd. You know you're taking it.
Yeah, we know you're taking it anyway.
I'm in.
You don't need to double sell yourself.
2 words. In. Lock it in. I'm pairing it with Javon Small. Crazy name from Javon. Crazy square. Okay, tell me why Javon Small is banging 2 threes today.
Yeah, I mean, look at the chart, first of all. That's why he's banging 2 threes, double goose egg system. But when Texas Tech, what they're doing now, because they're playing without Warren Washington, is their bigs are sagging off a lot to handle, other bigs in the paint, because they're playing with guys that frankly should not be playing the minutes they are. It's kind of what they're stuck with at this point. So especially with Garrison, who's had a resurgence on the inside for Oklahoma State, there's going to be a lot of focus. There's going to be a lot of drop coverage. There's going to be a lot of focus on the paint just in general. So Javon Small, him and like John Michael Wright. John Michael Wright's like the obvious option because he's an absolute sniper that just sits in the corner. But Javon Small, he's going to come off the pick and roll a couple of times and just have nobody in front of him. So I think there's definitely a reason why this is up. I mean, they played earlier this season and it was a little different. He still had 2 threes, but they had Bryce Thompson at this point, which he's like the main ball handler and kind of control the offense. And now that's in Javon Small's hands. So just sit back and watch while he cooks, because he's going to.
Any comments on Javon Deeb taking Javon Small on PrizePicks?
I mean, POD on Sunday was Javon Quinterly, and he had 2 threes in the first 10 minutes. So I mean, it could be a sign.
Could be good vibes then.
Yeah.
Maybe Javon knows his Javons. It's not spelled the same, I don't think, but it's definitely not, right?
Yeah, no, it's not.
But could be a system play here, folks. Green Book moved UNLV -118. Well, that's weird. Huh. All right. Javon, who's winning that game? Oklahoma State or Texas Tech?
I don't know. That's a tough game. I kind of think it's Oklahoma State. I don't know what Texas Tech is going to be able to do on defense that Oklahoma State can't handle. Because, first of all, I mean, their guards are small. When we talk about Texas Tech, which for guys like Javon Small, who can also play in the post, not that that's relevant to the square, but relevant to the game, I think they're a little undersized. And, you really need, a Pop Isaacs game, I think, for Texas Tech to win, which on the road against an Oklahoma State defense that's not, as good as years past, but it's still good enough, and they have size. I don't know if we're going to get that. And if Garrison feasts too, I mean, I think they're screwed. So I think it's Oklahoma State scratching one out, but I don't know that I'll be betting on it.
Okay. I'm with you. I'm probably going to stay off as well, but I do lean OK State and Javon Small. Goots, any chance we could look at that Florida game on here and see if they have his rebounds prop up on the books? I would love to see what he's at and why that would potentially get taken off. I unfortunately cannot look in my states because they don't do college props on the books. Loyola Maryland +7.5. I hate it, Miguelito. Respectfully, I hate it. I think Navy destroys them today. I thought that spread was hilariously large against those two teams that are almost even. I think they roll.
They're not up for me either, which is weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Javon, any chance you have Zion pulling props up that you can look at real quick or no?
Can. Let's see.
Okay.
Minus 150 to the under. That would be why.
Well, that's not good.
Not
Maybe
good.
they'll put it back up at a
Okay.
lower number.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. That's probably kick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's beats. What is your read on the Oklahoma minus 5.5 game? Oklahoma laying 5.5 against Cincy. Okay, yeah, he is juiced to the under. Oy, oy, oy. W pool on props.cash. Love to see that. If you guys want to sign up for props.cash and make your research time, cut it down in half at least, use our promo. Book it. Okay, you get 25% off your first month. Super duper cheap. If you don't love it, cancel it. But I promise you, if you're sending PrizePicks entries and you're not using props.cash, you are behind the 8 ball, folks. You are behind. All right, go check it out. I promise, the most fire app if you're sending PrizePicks entries. All right. Thoughts on Louisville opening up 6.5 to Virginia Tech? Riley, that might be a free play, brother. That might be a free play. Okay. Y'all SeatGeek code still working? It should be. It should be. Krabs, I saw you in Arlington but was afraid to say hi. That's soft, Baba. That's soft. Come up and say what's up. I'll buy you a beer if we're out drinking or whatever. Always come up and say hi. Okay? Dubs. That's not creepy at all, right, Javon? Nope. Not at all. Looks like Mac is boots on ground for the Magic Hornets tonight. Any NBA plays that are catching your eye, Javon, or anything in that Charlotte-Orlando game?
I mean, that game is going to be gross. I mean, I would not mind just taking the under in that game. No, obviously, don't want to go there and root for that. But, I mean, we've been talking about the Hornets. Perimeter defense has been so much better. They've been playing a little slower, partially because they have to, because their offense can't keep up. And, I mean, the Magic are pretty much going to match that tempo. So, I mean, I don't see a world where we get very many points in this game. So I would not be shocked if this is just the grossest game of all time.
Little under action. That totals down to 207.
Yeah, pretty low, but it should be.
Okay. Gun to my head, I'm taking that under. I think that'll pay if you're there boots on ground on that. Not a fun bet, but probably a winner. Okay. We got Curbs coming in hot with a 9-month resub. W's. Love to see that. Okay. W vibes from today. People subbing in like it's their job. All right. Dayton minus 9.5 on the road against St. Louis. Surely they bounce back from losing outright to St. Louis, right? Look, I don't want to fade Dayton anymore. I'm done with it. I just cannot get a read on that squad. When I fade them, they win by 40. When I take them, they lose outright. I'm done backing the Flyers this season. And St. Louis, I believe, is coming off a nice little win against Rhode Island in their last contest. They've actually won 2 of their last 3 games. So I am in zero rush to back this Dayton squad or St. Louis mainly. I think, if anything, you take Dayton to bounce back a little bit coming off that loss. I do not want to fade them tonight. No.
Miguel has 3 strikeouts and Whitlock still 1. Yeah.
Easy.
And he's pitched 2 innings, so who knows how much longer he's going to go.
Whitlock,
I mean, if he was up there for 4, that means he's probably got to be going for a minute.
But what are we doing? Why was he at 4? And why are we betting MLB spring training? Why?
No idea, man.
I don't know, Trent. What are we doing, brother? What are we doing? Goodness gracious. Yeah, Jason Whitlock K's. What are we doing? Richie, I'm tailing my goats in chat. All right. Somebody pitched a little 2-piece on the diamond. Yep. Maybe I needed to read that. I think I might be in timeout here, folks. Every time I bet a spring training square, it is the worst square to ever exist. Might have to hang them up. Krabs, join my fantasy baseball league. I can't, man. I can't even do fantasy baseball with my buddies. I just check out. I can't do it.
My first year doing it, and probably a decade this year.
Okay.
Pretty excited about it, but I just know come August, I'm going to be so dialed out.
Dude, not even August.
I mean, yeah,
come May.
Yeah.
If you're winning, if you're in first, maybe you'll show some heart. But I mean, every time I play fantasy basketball or fantasy baseball, I just feel like it's too much. I really do. Checking that shit every day. It's like a job. It's literally like a job. Unbelievable. Can we get Lembong and Javon Butler active tonight? Potentially, Delgado, yes. Potentials.
That would be
All right.
legacies because I'm out tonight.
Okay. All right.
Could be potential.
You're resting tonight?
Management.
I've got plans. My girlfriend is leaving for a week and a half, so we got to get the send off dinner.
100%. Do your job. Good work. Someone's got to do it. Whitlock and Piss. I know, chats. I know. Can we keep the spring training out of the chat for now? Okay. Let's go back to the board. All right. I need to listen to LC here. I will not bet on spring training. Come on. Got to be better. All right. Back to CBBs. Javon. Any other games besides the Sharp Report, Geysermans, that you wanted to talk through? I know we've got some conference tournaments starting up today. We had the A-Sun start up yesterday. Shout out Queens. Okay. We've got the Sun Belts starting up today. Okay. JMU, App State, obviously the two favorites there. We've got the Horizon Conference tourney starting up as well. And also, I believe, the Patriot Conference. But yeah, let's take a peep real quick at the Horizon odds. Youngstown State, Shore, Oakland, Wright State, Green Bay, hanging around, I bet. And guys, we're not going to go over what our thoughts are on these conference tourneys exactly. If you want to listen to that, you can go check out the podcast. It's going to get released later today. But we will talk about some games that are going on today for some of these tournaments starting up. Okay. And then real quick, let's show you guys the Patriot League odds. Sure, Colgate, the toothpaste, minus 210. All right. They're literally the best team on earth in this conference. It's not even close. Okay. Lehigh hanging around at plus 700, sure. But I mean, guys, come on, let's be realistic here. Colgate probably going to take it. But if you want to hear our angles and maybe some dark horses, check out the pod. We're going to drop tonight. Okay. Put it in your bookmarks. All right. Put it in your little notes app. Pod dropping tonight. Listen to it while you're going to sleep. All right. Javon, plus 21,000 on Army in the Patriot. You taking a stab at him?
No, it should be a great look. Really good look.
Oh, man. No love for Baba. I'm geeking. What is he doing? What's he doing? JMU can't beat App State in any sport. It might be App State. Yeah, App State beat them twice this season. We will see. If you guys want to hear our winner for that conference, you got to go listen to the pod tonight. Plain and simple. But we could talk about some of these games today, Javon. Any CBB Geyserman's looking at you funny on this Tuesday slate?
I mean, it's hard to ignore Kansas laying 11 and a half against Kansas State tonight after we were all on Kansas State, I think, in some form or fashion. And the game that was at their place and went into overtime, they eventually won outright. And Kansas is also coming off of two very, very disappointing losses. And now we come back and hang at 11 and a half against Kansas State. I mean, they've only been, off the top of my head, I think they've been double-digit favorites in the Fog like once or twice. One of those times was definitely Oklahoma State, but I'm not sure if they've had another one. So it feels like a lot of respect for Kansas, who's not really playing that well right now.
Mm-hmm. And, I mean, they've already lost to Kansas State once this season.
Yeah, I mean, they beat them
only a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interesting. I think it's Kansas or nothing, right? You're still back in Kansas. You're still taking Kansas at home, one of the most public angles, public teams. But it cannot be ignored how fat that spread is. I'm with you. Kansas or nothing. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like this is a tune-up. Usually I don't love the look-ahead spots, but I think for Kansas, they need this game badly to be dominant before they go into Houston on Saturday. So I think
they need some confidence going into
They need some confidence because they cannot go into that game reeling or else they're screwed.
Okay. Let's see what the splits are saying. I'm curious. I mean, obviously the ML is going to be insanely public for Kansas, people doing, bozo packs, but
yeah,
on the spreads, I mean, sure, Kansas a little bit public, 60% bet, but 80% of the handle. So big old bets being dropped on that spread, and the line is moving accordingly. We've seen some movement up from 10.5 to 12 on some books. Okay. I'm in. I like Kansas. Might play it, might not. Stay posted, chat. All right. Can we talk about Pepperdine? Can we go to that game real quick? Hovey actually has a great point here because Pepperdine did just fire their coach, who, by the way, anyone who's hip betting college basketball knows that their coach was the worst ATS record as a head coach in 3 years, probably ever. I think he covered like 20% of his games. I saw a bunch of people tweeting about it. So RIP to him and his coaching career. He's going to be hanging them up after how bad Pepperdine was. But they were free fades for the last 3 seasons, pretty much, almost every game. Javon, does the system apply to college basketball postseason? What are your thoughts on Pepperdine tonight against Pacific?
I mean, probably doesn't apply. Those teams, I hate that game because it feels like I've seen that game 5,000 times throughout the season. I don't even know when that game is. Is that game today?
It's got to be tomorrow.
Yeah, I would assume it's not today because I don't think they start WCC yet. But yeah, I mean, it's probably the sloppiest game of all time. Screams like an under, which both the defenses suck, but it's just going to be gross turnovers, and that's usually how it goes. So
both coaches are fired.
Yeah, it's a really strange assortment of things. I don't know what you're supposed to do.
We just take the over, and they both put up 100 points.
I guess the over would technically be the system play.
Yeah, keep that game out of the chats and out of our brains, please. Can we? All right. Goodness gracious. I also saw people asking questions about the pod. Are you guys releasing it on YouTube? When is it coming out? Yes, there will be a video released on YouTube simultaneously with the pod being released on Spotify and wherever you guys get your podcasts, Apple Music, whatever it is. Please, guys, when it drops tonight or later this afternoon, will you guys leave a review or at least drop a like and follow us on Spotify or wherever the heck you guys get your pods? Drop a review, drop a like on the YouTube stream. If you'd rather watch the video instead of listening to the audio, you can watch it on YouTube. But I know a lot of you guys like throwing in the AirPods, going to workouts or going to do shit and listening to the podcast in the background. Okay, you got both options. Looks like McGill was air. Great call. Goods. We've got some work to do still, though. We've got some work to do. Is Purdue a plus chicken the move, fellas? No, it is not, Megalito, but I love the question. I love the heart. All right. Devs double system. Yes, sir. Already went over it. Devils is a smash spot on the ice tonight. Very excited about that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen how weird the WCC tourney is? Flyer Faithful, we actually talk about that on the podcast. All right. So check that puppy out later. All right. We go over the WCC and all these mid-majors starting up this week. Okay. Can't wait for the next MLB pod. Yep. Rumor has it we're filming that puppy tomorrow. Probably be released later this week. All right. Going over the Centrals. You guys voted for the Central to be the first pod to be talked about AL and NL. So we will go over that one first. All right. When we do the West, we might have to get Trent on that pod to talk about the Dodgers and talk about the Angels. All right. I'll have my people reach out to his people and see if he's in.
Love to say.
Okay. Dubs. Check out Central and Western Michigan. I'm down to check out the Michigans. Dead Larry Bird. Let's go look at those puppies. Can we go look at the Michigans real quick, boys?
Take a quick look.
Let's see, folks. Let's go take a peep at the Michigans. Looks like he was eyeing Western Michigan at -1.5 at home against Bowling Green. Here's what I'll say about Bowling Green. Bowling Green came out of nowhere this season with a new coach. He's done great over there. They ended the season a little weak, right? They lost 4 of their last 5, coming back down to earth a little bit for Bowling Green. A crab sharp spot would be Western Michigan here, but as I try to be more, targeted and go in quality over quantity, I feel like this is one that gets left off the card. Bowling Green never gets any line respect. Bowling Green this entire season didn't get a lick of line respect, and they covered and they won games they shouldn't have pretty much all year up until the last week and a half. Okay. Maybe Bowling Green is toast. Maybe they're going to be stage fright here going into this conference tourney, coming off their best season they've had in a decade, right? And maybe Western Michigan, a better program historically in this conference, catches them lacking a little bit at 11-18 and gets that, upset, I guess you could call it, even though they're a favorite on the books. The line says Western Michigan, but my brain is saying stay off because Bowling Green gets no respect and they cover and win in these spots more often than they lose.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't really have much interest in either of those games, but Western Michigan definitely seems like the right side.
Okay. We got BJ Cheek. Insane name coming in hot with a resub 3 months. Love to see it, BJ Cheek. Love to see it. That is absurd. Okay. What about Eastern Michigan getting 21.5 points against Akron? I've got no thoughts.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
I've got no thoughts. All right. That is an insane spread. If anything, I'd probably lay it with Akron. That's absurd. All right. Have you guys talked about Clemson? No, but I'm happy to. Javon, how are we looking on the ice in the NBA? You need some time for those Geysermans today?
Got a couple spots. Don't need that much time, but
okay. All right.
Good.
Well, do you have any thoughts on Clemson and Syracuse? Do you think that's a pretty big number for Clemson to be laying coming off a loss to Notre Dame as -6 favorites? You look at what Syracuse has been doing. They've been in an absolute wagon recently, but they've played the likes of Louisville, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, and NC State. I mean, the biggest 4 frauds in the ACC. Okay. Do those wins even count? I don't know. And I think this could be a smash spot for Clemson coming off that loss at home, where they have played significantly better this season, 11-4. The only part I don't love is that they already beat them once this season and covered at Syracuse. So that's the only thing really keeping me off of it, right? Joe Girard, last home game versus his former team, he might go off. That's a crazy angle as well, right? Playing against his old squad. Syracuse coming to town. I like Clemson. I do.
But I like him. Don't love him.
Like him?
I will say, like, the most important part for me is, like, Syracuse is coming off of the Louisville, VT, Notre Dame, NC State stretch, which, I mean, they're all bad teams, first of all, but they're also teams with no bigs. So, like, that's why they could get a lot going at the rim, because it's not usually their offense. So I think it's going to be much tougher against, PJ Hall and Shefflin, which is the main matchup thing. So I definitely think Clemson is the right play. I don't know if I'll get there, though.
Okay.
Jackson Holiday cycle alert. Just hit a triple.
Jesus, dude. Oh, he thought that ball was gone.
He did. But he was moving, and he's quick.
What kind of Nats defense was that out in center field? What was that play?
Couldn't tell you.
PJ Hall senior night as well. Yeah, a lot of angles as to why Clemson is a good look this afternoon / later tonight. All right. Interesting.
Yes, Kish. I agree.
If he's not on the opening day roster, they're dumb. I don't know, man. The guy looks like he's 12. He can't even check into his hotels when he travels. I don't know if he's ready.
Krabs, he just hit a double off Zach Wheeler.
He's like that.
Wheeler? Come on.
He's like that. But same thing with James Wood, right? And they might need another year down in the minors. Get some confidence.
Might need it.
We'll see. Seen a lot of unsubs saying Purdue ML tonight. Oh, are you, Devin?
Yeah.
Huh. That could be the difference. Okay. A lot of people saying, is Purdue a plus chicken to look today, right? People coming in for the first time. I love the hearts. I love the questions, right? But you're wrong. No, Purdue is not a play at plus chicken. We fade the living crap out of them at plus chicken, because seeing Zach Edey at plus chick is a major red flag. And we fade those red flags. Don't we now?
We do.
We do in this house. Can we get an A team and a B team tonight? You're goddamn right we can. You're goddamn right. People forget, Eric. People literally forget we swept the A team and the B team yesterday. People forget it. They don't.
People do forget.
We have to run that back. Are you kidding me? All right. Any other CBBs before we move on to Javon's ICE and association report? Is there Kansas State? We already went over that a little bit, with Kansas probably being the right play there. A lot of the Sharp Report plays cover the best games of the day. Any Wake comments against Georgia Tech?
Not really. That was, I don't know if you remember last time I had them when they were like -6 on the road against Georgia Tech, and they beat them by 5 million. So I would not mind going back to it, but I'm not really running to it after the way that first game went.
Looks like Cephas is dropping a Cephas nug. Purdue is 2-0 outright as a dog this year. Surely plus Purdue plus chicken pays out for a third time. Cephas, I cannot say that with a straight face, brother. I appreciate the Cephas nug, though. Good work. All right. Did we chat about the Running Rebels? Yes, we did. That is a great look tonight, grabbing a couple points at home against San Diego State, who's already really clinched the #1 seed in that conference. And they'll be coasting through the rest of the regular season. Okay. 81% on Florida. Check scores and odds. No, I'm going to check the service I pay for that's way more accurate. Thank you, Dom. They're not
scores and odds is a real thing people check.
It should not be. It should not be.
Lord.
Here come all the questions. Nevada green lights. Keep me away from Nevada right this second. I don't know if Blackshear is playing or not. I'm hearing rumors he might be back, but not positive. Okay, but if he's not back and they're a +5.5, I definitely would lean Nevada on the spread. As Boise's coming off of one of their legacy performances of the season, where Max Rice went nuclear, the coach's son, for Boise. He's one of the most inconsistent players on the West Coast. He'll have a great performance, and then he'll drop an absolute dud in the next game. It's almost become consistent at this point how inconsistent he is. I'd say you fade Boise if Blackshear doesn't play and the spread is still this short. That's my angle in that game. And then real quick, going over ASUN angles before we let Javon take the floor with NBA and the ICE. I think Queens might go down today. I hate to say it. I really do. I think they might go down. I feel like both dogs that won in the ASUN yesterday with Queens and Jacksonville, I feel like both dogs end up losing today, unfortunately. So if you're looking for some bozo pieces, I think you could take Stetson. I think you could also, take the other favorites. It's escaping my mind, though, but who's the other favorite in the ASUN playing against Jacksonville today?
Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky the favorite. I think you could take Eastern Kentucky and you could take Stetson and some Bozo packs, cough, Trent, some Fugazi pieces, and go about your day. I really do. I don't see Queens coming through. That spread's getting fatter every second. And I think Jacksonville used up all their magic in that last contest. I do.
Yeah, I don't know if I can go with that, but
we'll
see.
You think Jacksonville might have some life?
I think that game, I mean, it's going to go one of two ways. It's either going to go down to the last possession or it's going to be a 30-point blowout. But I could see it being close just because, I mean, it's a big contrast of styles game. And we'll see if Jacksonville's able to slow them down. That is a little low of a total, don't you think?
Yeah, for an Eastern Kentucky game it is. But it's also the postseason, and they're coming off a bye, so there's definitely reasons for the total to be a speck lower. But I like what
did you see. Did you see the score of the Jacksonville game last night too?
Yeah, there's plenty of points.
There's plenty. I mean, that 144 seems awfully low, which I mean that's could only be good for Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, that one might be a little bit sketchier. Maybe stick with fading Queens for a Bozo pack this afternoon / tonight. Okay.
W comments.
Ooh, good. Love to hear that. I just put another unit on the Devils. Good. Thank you, chat. Real quick, Georgia. That's favorites against Ole Miss. Are we taking the bait? Are we keeping these two teams out of our bet slips? What is the vibe for today?
I have no interest on betting on Georgia. Okay. That team
It's got to be Georgia's the sharp side, though, but they might not come through. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they're always the sharp side, and they suck. So I'm good.
All right. Dubs, Goots, Javon, take us to the ice. I want to hear what Javon has besides the Devils double system play today. Power through these puppies. Take a couple minutes.
It almost
skip
might
some
be,
if you don't love them.
It almost might be triple system at this point because the Panthers -110 to -130, the same exact move that's been getting crushed the last
triple.
Really what? Yeah, it might be triple. So that's crazy. So yeah, Devils always is the Devils. Schmid legacy game, gonna need it. CBJ and the Penguins. I think this is hopefully a Penguins get-right game, and they muck CBJ. He just beat the Knights last night with Eichel coming back and that little -190 line. So I don't know if I'll be taking that, but it's going to be a probably a closer game than it should be. But the Penguins are going to win. Kind of like the Oilers. Bruins are off a back-to-back weird situation. It seems like a very obvious spot for them to fall flat, and I kind of am buying into that after the Oilers truthfully haven't looked fantastic even in their wins. You know, the past couple of times they played Penguins team was checked out. I'm absolutely discounting that. But other than that, really close game against the Kraken on the road, which that was, you know, their last road game over the weekend. Even scraped by the Blues, scraped by the Kings in games they should have won comfortably. I think they come out with a bang on the road in Boston. So I'm totally with that. I want nothing to do with Blues Islanders. Got my lick on the Blues last night. I'm good going back to it. Kind of have something Habs in the Plums, though, in this game. The Predators, I don't know. I think I maybe faded them earlier last week. I think it was the Wild game. And a lot of it hinged on, you know, how good the Predators have been. They have been ridiculously good. And not only did they muck the Wild, but they follow that up by beating the absolute piss out of the Avs in that game in Nashville. So now they're playing the Habs, which this game is such a weird game, and the Habs seem to always make these kind of games weird, especially when, you know, you have this really awkward Northeast road trip or not road trip, but homestand followed by a couple trips to Columbus and Minnesota looming for the Preds. So this really feels like a Canadian steel coin spot. So I'm probably going to get involved with the +1.5 there. Yeah, Jake Allen and Ned Habs aren't doing anything. Surely every single game he starts, they lose. We'll find out tonight. So we'll see there. Saros versus Jake Allen probably should be a lot more than -225 with the way the goalie situation, the way the Preds have been priced lately. So that line is certainly a little short, and I think the Preds make it weird. Kraken line is also really short, I would say. I don't know if I'm going to go back, but
oh god, man.
I mean, it's the Kraken off a back-to-back. You know, sure they got a big win in Calgary, but you got Helly in net against a team who can't score goals, and they've scored, I think, more than 2 goals once on a back-to-back all season, and they're on the road in Winnipeg, and they're only +140 with 5.5 total. That seems wild.
Jesus, dude.
Extremely wild to me.
We can't go back to them. We got to take our coins and run.
I mean, it's just I don't know if I'm going to get involved, but you know, the conscience is telling me I probably should. but we'll see.
All
I'll leave
right.
them to the side. I don't love playing them on a back-to-back because they've been one of the worst teams in the league. But man, I mean, Hellebuck minus 170 seems like the freest lay piece of all time. I gotta say.
Yeah.
And yeah, the rest of the games are moose. Seeing the Coyotes at minus 260, even though it's the Blackhawks who are easily the worst offense I've ever seen in my own two eyes, is crazy in that game. Coyotes minus 260 after really just beating or breaking their 13-game losing streak. They might just buck tonight.
Real quick, NBA. I know we got to get the squad ride moving and grooving. Okay, you just powered through the hockey slate. Love that. All right. Are we fading Boston today, or can we take the under in that game? Have you seen that total creeping down a ton in this contest? Do you have any thoughts? It looks like Jaylen Brown and Porzingis, though, are game-time decisions.
Yeah. I don't love taking the under because of that, or fading the Celtics because of that, especially when the line's ticked up towards the Celtics. But
if those guys end up both playing somehow, which they probably won't, but if they do and the lines stay the same, you would like the under and potentially fading Boston here?
Yeah, for sure. I'll look to tap in once we see final injury reports for that game. But this early, I don't want to get involved there.
Okay. And you also like the Mavs. That was in your sharp reports. Are there
I do
any
like the
other
Mavs.
plays you want to put the people on notice for before we do the sharp report or the squad ride?
There's none that are really screaming at me. I'll be honest. I do want to see how that line shakes out in Brooklyn because Tyrese Maxey is out because he caught a knee to the head in the Mavs game where they just beat them on the road. So I don't really know what to do with that game. I mean, that feels like a pretty weird situation for Brooklyn to be in, playing with no Maxey or playing against no Maxey.
Spot picks. Come on over to the Twitch. We're about to do a squad ride poll in the next minute here, okay? Come over to the Twitch at Book It Sports. All right, we are live also on YouTube as well. But get out of the Twitter video, okay? Come on over. The water's fine. All right, brother? All right. You want to potentially play the 76ers with the bad news here?
Yeah, I mean, I would love if they weren't coming off the Mavs win, but I mean, the Nets have been so good at home like the last couple of weeks, and defensively, I don't know, they've just found something different with these lineups, especially without Ben Simmons. So could be a decent spot to do it.
Okay. People are asking what the Twitch name is. Book It Sports. Okay. That is the Twitch. Come on over. We're about to do a squad ride vote with everybody in here. All right. Javon, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's run it. Goots, I want to see that damn train. All right, chat. Let's stay hot. All right. We smacked by the skin of our teeth the Wizards over last night. Javon, what are the mandatory plays for the squad ride vote today?
I think Florida is pretty mandatory, both on that, of course. It's probably
Florida ML.
Yeah, I mean, minus systems, probably favorite. Trip up.
Got to go Devils, right?
Yeah, Devils got to go in there.
Jersey Devils ML, sure. Love that. All right. I'm really liking that New Hampshire and UNLV angle, and I also like Illinois. I mean, I like all my plays pretty much equally a good amount today, so I'll let you take your pick on some of those.
Dude, that New Hampshire one is looking at me funny.
Yeah,
it's giving me
senior night.
Yeah, it's giving me Lamar plus the points flashbacks against McNeese.
I think Vermont's checked out. I think we should put that in there.
Yeah.
New Hampshire plus 9.5. Sure. Love that. Illinois or UNLV? What are we feeling
Illinois.
here?
Say Illinois.
Illinois, ML. Okay,
Yeah.
fading Zach Edey. Sure.
Yeah.
No way Zach Edey pays out as a dog for the third time this season. Come on, chat. Give me a break. And is there one more Geyserman you can't stop thinking about? Is it Mavs? Is it Texas State? Is it UNLV late night?
I think it's the Mavs. I feel like the Mavs are going to get
the Mavs.
I think they're going to get swept. Just feels very.
Is there any injury bullshit or no?
Not that I've seen. I mean, people are mixing up Halliburton and Maxey in chat because I've seen that a couple times. It's Maxey that's not playing, not Halliburton as far as I've seen.
Okay. All right, let's go Mavs. Minus 4.5.
Yep.
I'm in. All right, chat. 5 plays, 5 winners. You have 2 minutes to lock in your vote. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. 5 plays, 5 winners on this beautiful Tuesday slate. Okay, we've got the Florida Gators on the ML in college basketball. We've got the New Jersey Devils on the ML on the ice. We're going to New Hampshire for a plus 9.5 bet against Vermont. That's going to get swept. I'll tell you that right now. We've got Illinois on the ML, fading Zach Edey, the Giants, okay, and fading Purdue. And we've got Dallas laying 4.5 as well in the association. Okay, 5 plays, 5 winners. Hurry up, Kish. Do not be soft, brother. Do not be soft.
Do Florida
Please.
that, Kish. It's probably the best play on there.
It probably is. I'm surprised it's not winning. Looks like the Devils is because you said it's a 7-system play. I don't blame the chats. And honestly, I love the play as well. Okay, we've got Don't Fade 86 coming in, giving out 2 subbies to the people. We got Brock coming in, dropping a subby. Take Pitt to make the tournament. Let's have a day. Brock, I hate that team. I apologize. All right, as a Hokie, I hate them. And we're going with the Devils on the ML for Javon's double system play. I am so in for the Devils on the ice tonight. Oh, yeah. GG. GG. All right. W's chats. I appreciate you guys. All right. The squad ride tonight will be the New Jersey Devils on the ice. All right. Stick around for the surgical stream. We've got Trent giving winners. We've got people winning PrizePicks promo coins. All right. If you think you know ball, stick around. Okay. Why would you fade Purdue? Blah, blah, blah. That's a square ass comments that makes me want to put 2 units fading Purdue. Thank you. Appreciate that. Chat, stick around. We've got Trent giving out some winners. Trent hosting, giving out some plays and listening to some winners. If you guys want to win some PrizePicks coins, you better give him one hell of a sell job today. All right, bring your A game. We'll be on here tomorrow. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing. Peace, guys.